If you're stuck inside Costlemark Tower because of bugs or issues, don't break your controller. I've got fixes for you. So what's up everybody, Jay here, coming back with a not normal guide. This one isn't about XP or how to unlock something in game. This is how to get past two pretty close to game breaking bugs inside Costlemark Tower. Now this is one of the bonus dungeons where you get one of the royal arms, the Sword of the Tall, and even though it's got tough enemies and a big strong boss at the end, the two most infuriating things in this place are two bugs that make you feel that the game is either broken or you just can't do anything other than restart. And the two bugs in question are having your camera locked in place inside the maze and not being able to complete the quest once you kill the Jabberwock, the final boss of this area. But don't worry, there's fixes for both, so let's do this. First up is the locked camera. This happens once you get down to the weird maze puzzle room area where you have to click the stuff on the floor, the platforms start moving around, and you have to find the right path to get onto the final boss. And sadly, what happens is kind of your fault, but you don't know it and you're not really to blame. The reason it bugs out is because when you warp strike, it locks onto a target. Unfortunately, it doesn't lock onto a target on screen. And this does stop you from being able to turn your camera at all, which becomes really infuriating when you need to click on the walls to proceed, but since you can't turn the camera, you can't target the stuff, and no clicking the button. But thankfully, there is a fix for this. First up, I'm going to say, make sure you go into your camera and turn on Ally Cutaway. This isn't mandatory, but I ran into a few times where this trick didn't quite work just because of the positions of the party members. So what you want to do when you get your camera locked is try to move into a corner or somewhere where one of your party members isn't on screen. It doesn't matter who, but one if not all three are off screen. Then what you want to do is use an item. If you're in combat, that means you can use a potion or a Phoenix Down or something. But if you're not in combat, you need to use an item that can be used outside of combat. So that's things like muscle stimulants or any of the status boosters. Use that on one of your party members that is not on screen. What this does is it forces the camera to move real quick to focus on the other party member, which will unlock it for you. And sadly, this bug can occur over and over and over again because you're going to be fighting a lot of enemies as you go through this maze. And every single time you use Warp Strike, it can lock. So if you're going to be using an item, especially out of combat one, make sure it's something you either don't use a lot of or you already have a ton of. For me, it was the muscle stimulants just because I had like 78 of them and I didn't really use them that often. So once you get through the maze, you're eventually going to make your way to the big elevator that takes you down to the Jabberwock. And unfortunately, this is the second big bug because this is the last boss of this area, but you can kill him and not have the quest complete. Basically, what the bug is in here is it's not registering one, the start of the fight, and two, the end of the fight. There's actually a cutscene at the end of the fight that's supposed to play, but since the start of the fight didn't trigger, you don't get the end of the fight. So what you need to do to fix this is once the fight's over, go to the elevator and head up. Once you're here, go ahead and use the return to entrance feature. Once you're out here, you need to move away from the dungeon a bit. You don't have to go that far. If you have your car parked just out front, you can just walk to it or use return to car. You will be fighting the Jabberwock again though, so if you need to go get some more elements for spells, go ahead and walk to a nearby camp and go gather them real quick. And also, if you need to stock up on things like potions or Phoenix Downs, go ahead and go to your car and buy them there. So once you're ready, come back to the dungeon, and if it's daytime, just go ahead and wait for night to fall so the entrance opens back up. Once it opens, you're going to need to make your way all the way back through the dungeon. Thankfully, most of the monsters should already be dead from your first time killing them. So make your way all the way back down to that maze room and go to the southwest platform, the one that leads you to the boss. And in here, you are going to have to fight again. All of these guys are going to respawn as you move the walls around. So just remember your camera can get locked, so be ready to fix that. So once you kill all these guys off and you get to the elevator again, head down. Once you get near the bottom of the elevator, you're actually going to get two scenes that play out at the same time. And that's seeing the Sword of the Tall and the Jabberwock initiate the fight, and you're also going to be getting the cutscene playing out where he dies and you actually take the sword and have it brought into Noctis's body just like all the other royal arms. This right here will complete the quest for you. But the only problem is you also have the Jabberwock spawn now, so you are going to have to kill him again. And unfortunately, unlike the first time, you can't target him now because the quest already thinks he's dead. He's only able to spawn once really in the game. That doesn't mean you can't throw spells at him or attack him still, you just can't target specific limbs or anything. So kill him one more time. If you need a little bit of help with that, he is very weak to ice. A few ice spells will really help you out. Kill him and you are all set. You are completely done. So go ahead, return to entrance, get the hell out of here. I would suggest saving and reloading your game just to make sure that you have wiped away any of the remnants of these bugs. But there you go, Sword of the Tall, less frustration. Hopefully you didn't break your controller, hopefully you didn't stop playing, and just get as far away from this place as you can, unless you have to come back later for the extra vault that's in here. But we'll touch on that another time. So there you go. Hopefully I got this out there in time, because trust me, dealing with this stuff was just so frustrating, and I don't want anybody else to have to deal with that. So hopefully this helped. If it did, leave a like, maybe subscribe. I'm going to have some more Final Fantasy 15 stuff, other gameplay things. We got Walking Dead coming soon. We've got Shantae coming out. There's a few other games before the end of the year that I really want to play. So I'll have more guides and more Let's Plays coming up. Anything else I think of doing in my goofy head. So thank you for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Later.